Don't show vulnerability, man. Don't show vulnerability. She will not respect it in the long run. She may pretend like right there in the moment when you tell her, she might be like, oh, yeah, oh, that's okay. Oh, really? That happened to you? Oh, that's terrible that happened to you, right? All that good stuff, right? That just makes you feel like, oh, I'm so glad I had that conversation with her, right? And then as soon as y'all break up, she's going to be like, hey, remember that time when you was crying to me like a little bitch? Today's topic is going to be why men should never be vulnerable. All right, this one I'm going to love because this one is so important. Because I'm sure us men have all heard women say, oh, it's okay to share your feelings. You can be vulnerable. You're safe with me. Tell me how you really feel. I've stood firm on this all the time, men. And I even stand even more firm on it now, today. And let me tell you, man, I know that I am 1,000% correct on this. You know why? Because I've gone through the experience more than once. And let me tell you all this, man. I've been in some situations that were some of the worst situations you can possibly ever imagine that I'm not even going to get into right now. That'll be later on. But I'll tell you this, man. I've been through some crazy shit with women. Crazier than most people have experienced. I'm talking like Netflix series type shit. Okay? I've been in some Netflix series in reality. Okay? Let me tell you this, man. Men should never be vulnerable with women. Never discuss your money situation, your job situation, because the first moment that they get upset at you, they're going to use it against you, man. They're going to use it against you. It's a known fact. Listen, I have had women tell me straight up to say, oh, you can be open with me. Tell me your secrets. Tell me how you feel. Tell me everything. And I was like, no, I'm not going to tell you everything. No, I'm not going to cry to you. You are not my mother. That is the worst thing that you can ever do to a woman that you are with. That is the worst thing you can ever do to a woman, is to cry to her like if she was your mom. Luckily, my mother has always been very strict and mean. Even my friends were afraid of my mother. Okay? That's how strict my mom was. My mother was not the one to show compassion. So I grew up with that, never cry to your mom anyways, because even if I did cry to my actual mom, she would look at me and say, what's wrong with you, man? Like, quit acting like a bitch. I was like, damn, okay. So I had to grow up real fast. I had to mature real quick. Looking back, that might have been a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because it definitely helped me to learn to not seek validation from women. And I feel like some of these men out here, they try to seek too much validation from women and be like, well, what do you think about this? There was one video I was watching. I watch a lot of other people's channels. And like I said, man, this is a channel where we talk about how to be highly evolved men. This ain't going to just focus on women and all this stuff. We're going to talk about it all, man. Money, power, women, respect. But I got to say, I was watching one cat's channel. What was it? AMS? I really respect AMS, and what did he say? He said, if you as a man were to lose your job, don't even tell your woman that you lost your job. As a matter of fact, get up and go to work, or pretend to go to work as if you still had the job. That part right there, like, stuck out to me, man. Like, that part was like, yo, that's some real talk right there, man. Don't even tell your female that you lost your job. I don't understand why some men do that these days. It's like, look, man, even Chris Rock, we can go back and we can find the Chris Rock sketch where he even says in one of his comedy takes that if you tell your woman that you lose your job, she'll be like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. We gonna get through this. We gonna work through this. But he said the clock is ticking. And you know what they say on average? Because they actually did a study on this. I actually looked some of this stuff up and analyzed what I'm speaking about. So I feel like I have a right to also speak this, because not only have I also experienced it myself, but I've also studied it too. Oh, well, you don't have a PhD, so therefore you can't consider yourself a psychologist. That's what some of these dumb say. But let me tell you this though. If I'm helping more people than all the so-called psychologists out there, then doesn't that make me somewhat of a psychologist? I'm working on my degree for all of y'all out there that care about that sort of thing. So I can hang the plaque on my wall back here so you can see, yeah. Oh, by the way, I have a degree and I graduated in psychology from whatever school. Hopefully it's a school that you respect. Yeah, man. So after that rant. So as I was saying, part 2 of men shouldn't be vulnerable. When a woman is like, oh, don't worry, we'll get through it. No, the clock is ticking. And studies have shown that you only have 6 months to a year to correct the problem. And that most men that were unable to correct the problem within 6 months to a year and still kept continuing to cry to their woman, like if that was their mother, they all said that the woman filed for divorce. This is a study. This is mathematics, so we can't ignore this. Just like the fact that mostly people that file for divorce are women, and then they claim for alimony afterwards. Isn't that ironic? You claim for alimony and child support after you were the one that decided that you wanted to get a divorce, but then you said, oh, but you can't afford your lifestyle anymore. Well, then if you can't afford your lifestyle without me, then maybe you shouldn't get a divorce, you dumb. Yeah, man, don't show your vulnerability, because a woman will use that against you as soon as she gets upset with you. And not only that, you know, the interesting thing is that after I already know this rule and I've applied it, this is the funny thing, is when women think they're so smart, and it's not just women though. Some men will try to run games too in business and stuff like that. And it's like, no, man, I ain't the one. You know, don't take the kindness for weakness. I'm a nice guy, but you. You know, you don't say that's like that. Whatever, New York shit. And sometimes I've just been like, you know what? I could already see that this girl is trying to do some funky shit and she's trying to test me. So you know what? Let me run some tests back at her ass. Meaning, how far is this girl going to try to challenge me? Or if I don't even tell her nothing, I ain't going to show her no bank accounts. I ain't going to tell her what's going on at the job. I ain't going to take her to work with me, even though she asked me to come help me work. I ain't going to ask you to come to my job or my business. I'm not going to ask you to help send money. I'm not going to ask to help for your help to help with the business. I'm not going to ask you to make an investment in the business. I'm not going to ask you for shit. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to watch you and see how you behave. And then all of a sudden, she want to go on social media and talk about who's broke and needed help with this and needed help with that. And it's like, I never asked you for shit. Don't confuse me with your exes. You know, that's real funny to me, where I purposely did not show this woman any information, and she just started making shit up. Like, girl, you ain't never seen my bank account. Now, imagine if I would have been vulnerable and showed this person, this woman who I thought said, it's okay. You can tell me all your secrets, like Alicia Keys. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I ain't tell you shit. But now you just out here making shit up, and even worse than all that, You making shit up on the internet. Ooh, 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 man. That's a red flag. I mean, it was already red flags before that moment, but that's a red flag you just cannot come back from. I don't care if one day you mature and you're like, hey, you know what I did right there was wrong. I would still be like, well, yeah, it was, but yeah, that was really wrong. Some things some people just do are just too stupid. Like, it's just too stupid. We understand some people might do some stupid things sometimes, and it's like, why'd you do that? Like, you shouldn't have done that. You should have thought better. You should have known better. But then there's just some other things that are just so stupid and dumb where it's like, nah, you went like way off over there. Because now you just saying shit that ain't even real, or shit that you don't even know, or shit that you just can't even confirm. So in essence, men, do not show any vulnerability. I've been in this situation more than once. I've been through the experience more than once. And all the women that said it was okay to show vulnerability with, well, this previous one I just told you about, I didn't show any vulnerability with her because I already knew the game. I've already learned the game, which is what I'm showing with you guys. You know, some of the things that our fathers never taught us. Because I'm assuming that if your father did teach you this, you already know this. But this channel is for those of us that didn't really grow up with the father. And I've been through enough experiences now where I could be some of your kids' fathers out there. You know what I mean? Don't show vulnerability, man. Don't show vulnerability. She will not respect it in the long run. She may pretend like right there in the moment when you tell her, she might be like, oh, yeah, oh, that's okay. Oh, really? That happened to you? Oh, that's terrible that happened to you, right? All that good stuff, right? That just makes you feel like, oh, I'm so glad I had that conversation with her, right? And then as soon as y'all break up, she's going to be like, hey, I remember that time when you was crying to me like a little bitch? Yeah, don't be vulnerable, man.